I want to play another piece of audio here for you. This is Rachel Levine to doctors. I want you to listen to this.
For almost 40 years now, I have considered it an honor to be a doctor. I believe in our role as healers. I believe in our role as truth tellers. And the truth that we need to confront now is that medicine and science are being politically perverted around this country that destroys human lives. And we have reached a tipping point for the role in medicine and civic life for the health and well-being of LGBTQI plus youth and other Americans. Those who attack our community are driven by an agenda of politics. It has nothing to do with medicine. It has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with warmth, empathy, compassion, or understanding. They are rejecting the value of supportive medicine, rejecting well-established science, and simply rejecting basic human compassion. We, as doctors and as people who love our communities and love our nation, have to confront the fact that the language of care and compassion that they're using is being taken for granted to literally tear our communities apart. So we have to stand up. We have to take a stand on behalf of those who are being hurt. That's what we do in medicine, even when it's difficult.
This is her plea to doctors to become activists for trans youth. Everything she said there is a distortion of the truth or an out-and-out lie. We are facing just incredible darkness. And we were talking about Planned Parenthood a few minutes ago and how they are pushing porn on our kids, how they are pushing transgender, non-binary. You know, you can be any gender you want. They're pushing surgery on kids. How is that logical or decent at all? I urge you to watch the video that I made with somebody who is detransitioning. She started transitioning when she was 11 with the support of loving doctors. She now doesn't think those doctors were so loving. They used her fear. She's now detransitioning because she realizes she is a woman and always was a woman. Stu asked me, why this big push for children? And I have to tell you, I think the answer is really clear. The agenda is a very Old Testament pagan worship ritual. And it worships earth. And it puts earth above everything and uses your sexual desires to worship Baal or Moloch. It is very anti-human. If you're part of the earth worshipers now, the people who are do anything to prevent global warming, when there's no research that any of the stuff they're talking about will actually work. And they are willing to shut down our economies. They are willing to shut down our farms. They are willing to shut down our businesses. Why? To protect the earth from CO2. Who produces that? Humans. They worship everything and despise human beings. This is just part of their earth worship. This is just part of their ritual. The sexualization of our children is ritualistic in its nature. The sacrifice of our children and their innocence is being put up on the altar of whatever God it is they are serving. I'm not suggesting that they know they're serving an evil God, but they are. And I do believe there are those that are very clear on what they're doing. They're sexualizing our children. They are sacrificing our children. They are willing to sacrifice millions of lives in honor of Gaia, the spirit of the earth. That's what's happening, and that's why I said earlier today, this isn't about politics, and you don't have to get overwhelmed. What's happening in your school with the sexualization of your kids, what's happening with ESG, they seem separated, but they're not. They're the same. The fight on global warming is exactly the same fight as the fight against the Constitution. All of these things seem like separate battles, but they're not. Sorry, separate wars, but they're not. They're just battles in the same war. We never, said, we've got to worry about this, but wait, it's happening in Berlin too. But wait, it's happening in Russia too. We knew all that. And we knew it was coming from one source, Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. So what is the one source that is creating all of this chaos and confusion and policies that lead to death? It's the same source it has always been. The author of all lies. We are not fighting against flesh and bone. We are fighting evil. Once we get that, you'll no longer be overwhelmed because you will understand this is a spiritual battle. And if we understand it's a spiritual battle, we will be able to fight it effectively. We are now fighting this like it's flesh and bone. It's not. We're using a losing strategy. Understand this is a spiritual battle and begin to fight like that. And we know how the story ends.